Today's session, we want to review a feature found in guided buying called Spot Quote. So what is Spot Quote? Spot Quote is a built-in feature in guided buying that has an integration between the guided buying module and the sourcing module, and it's used to facilitate 3 bids and a buy tactical sourcing type of initiatives. Those initiatives were initiated by end users with specific guardrails. So those guardrails are predefined by the procurement team. There are 3 options for configuration of spot quotes. So managing demand requires different involvement from sourcing team members. In the low and high touch options, that is actually more responsibility on the sourcing team in that they can add additional suppliers, include additional content, and even make the award their responsibility. In the self-service option, this is a pre-configured option where the end user or the casual user is required to log into the tool, submit the request, and also award with very little engagement from the sourcing team. Think of the sourcing team as just having visibility into it as a watcher, but no activity or responsibility is required from their end. In our scenario today, I'm going to be demoing the self-service option. The type of user that would be using this is someone that's considered a casual user. And what I mean by casual user, it's a user that might use the system maybe a couple times a year, and they're not really versed in the tool. In this scenario that I'm about to show, we have 3 different types of personas that I'm going to be talking through. First persona is a marketing team member. This is somebody who's not logging in and purchasing things very frequently. However, they're in need of advertising. The second person on the list is the category manager. The category manager is just going to be added as a watcher in this scenario. And then the last would be the supplier or suppliers. This can actually send to multiple suppliers so that you have the opportunity to receive bids from those suppliers. However, the suppliers would receive those bids, provide information related to those bids, such as the price and the capabilities, and then the end user would award that. After award, it would convert to a requisition, work through an approval flow, and send the purchase order to the awarded supplier. In this example, I'm going to click on the marketing tile. Now in the marketing tile, as you can see, there's various things I can purchase. There's a coffee mug here. There's a brochure of catalog items. If I scroll down, I can buy from a specific supplier, or I have some forms that have been pre-created. In this case, I have a creative advertising form. I'm going to click on this form. I'm going to provide a title. We're going to say Marketing Campaign 2019. We'll provide a price. We'll say it's going to be $25,000. Response date, we would like to have a response by 3/14, 7 days away. Project size, we'll say medium. Advertising channel or medium, we'll do TV, video, broadcast on a sports channel. Select the commodity code for sports. Target audience. And the target region, Americas. These are 3 preferred suppliers, so I'm going to select them. Click Request Quotes. So now as an end user, I can monitor my progress by clicking on your requests, clicking on quotes, and then it says it's awaiting quotes. So I have this marketing campaign from 2019 and it's awaiting quotes. If I click on this, there's really no activity yet, but you can see that I have 3 suppliers that I'm waiting to receive bids from. So these suppliers receive the content. Now I'm going to log into the sourcing module just to show you what that looks like from the sourcing side and also what it looks like from the supplier side. Now that I'm logged into the sourcing module, I just want to highlight something here. So the end user was in guided buying. They filled out the form in guided buying and they made the request. They do not need to log into sourcing. However, sourcing managers and category managers will have visibility into this by searching for these events. Because I was the user who created it in guided buying, I'm seeing it in my documents section. So I'm going to click on this. And as you can see, the event has already started. The information was already sent to the suppliers. The content that I filled out in the form was also sent to the suppliers. So you can view that by clicking on the plus sign and scrolling down, and you can see that the information that I filled out on the form is visible on this screen. The other thing that happened is it's sent to the 3 individual suppliers. So I have Grove Street, Willow, and FGH components. They received the request and they have 7 days. That has been pre-configured in the event template in the sourcing module. So right now I logged in as Willow's supplier. Willow's supplier, this is the network side for Willow's supplier. I am no longer an employee of Stratus Atlantic. However, the branding is still there for Stratus Atlantic Company. As Willow's supplier, I have access to participate in various events from different customers of mine. This is still the Ariba network. There is no charge for this. There's another side of the network which people tend to be more familiar with, which is the purchase order and invoicing side. That is chargeable. However, this is no charge at all. As the supplier, I'm going to see what events are open right now. And I'll notice that I received a response from Marketing Campaign 2019. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to intend to participate. I'm going to submit the required number of lots. All right, 7 days have gone by. I'm the end user. I'm going to check the results. To do that, once again, I'm going to click on the menu, go to your requests, click on quotes, click on the form or awaiting quotes, and I'm scrolling down, and as you can see, some of the content has been filled out. As before, if you remember, there was no additional content below, but as the suppliers submitted their information, the information became available to the end user. They can look at the information and make a decision on who they want to move on with. Right now, Grove Street supplier has the cheaper price. They also provided a little bit more documentation. I'm looking through the details. Everything looks great to me. So I'm going to select as an end user Grove Street Incorporated. It says, are you sure you want to accept this quote for Grove Street? And I'm going to say yes. So now I accepted the quote from Grove Street. Now I have an order. I'm going to scroll down. And it looks like I need to fix some accounting information, but this is basically this is a requisition. As you can see, there's a PR number here. This is a requisition from guided buying. So I'm going to select the appropriate purchasing group. And everything looks good to me now. I'm going to hit send request. All right, what you're seeing here is the requisition approval flow. And this is a different view because I am in guided buying. However, the end user doesn't have to leave guided buying. They have the ability to review this from the guided buying solution. You can see the approval flow here as well. The approval flow works the same way as it is in the Procure to Pay module. They can hover over and it tells them why the approval has been added. As they scroll down, they can see various components of the order. This is also available to all the approvers. So if Gene Halas logged in, they would be able to see everything. If you wanted to view the line item form details of how the price ended up where it's at, they can click on View Line Item Form. And it brings up the form detail. With that form detail that was completed by the end user, that end user submitted it to the supplier placed bids on that information. Those bids were sent back to the end user for award. The next step in the process is after all the approvers have fully approved the requisition is then converted into a purchase order. That purchase order is sent to the supplier. In this case, it would have been Grove Street supplier because we awarded business to them. Within the purchase order, the supplier can reference the RFQ number, and then they can refer to the RFQ number for the details that they agreed to. Thank you for watching the video today. Look out for additional videos related to Spot Quote or other Ariba features.